give me a minute. There we go. Alright, you guys should now officially be able to see the stream. Um, yep, and there's my email about it being live. So, oh my gosh, really, computer? Don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Don't. Why did it work fine at the start and now it's just slowly going downhill? Like, see? Now it's fine again. And I bet you in like 2 minutes it's gonna go back down to like 10 frames a second again, like it just did. So, I'm gonna hit back to game, and I know that is a very laggy stream at the moment. Um, so, the stream is always laggy ever since I put the shaders in, but it was fine towards the end. Don't ask me why it's doing this. I've got no clue. So, first thing that I'm gonna do, it's the thing that I do every time, is I'm going to very quickly share the link to our stream out onto pretty much every Discord server that I know of. I've already done a TikTok about it. So just give me a minute to do that. And then we will be on our way. Oh, that's bot command, not self-promo. There's that stream in there. Ooh, and we have a viewer. Hello, viewer. So, give me just a minute to do this, and then we will be on our way. There we go. That message nearly didn't go through. I'm glad it did go through, though. Alright, let me quite quickly do that. Don't need there. Definitely not there. Now, here we go. Back into my gaming / self-promotion servers. My music's a bit loud in my ear. I can hear that way over. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get yelled at for links too quick. Alright, here we go. I'm just going server after server down the list. You guys can't see it, but just server after server. Here we go. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I didn't see the chat message pop in. I swear I will only be another minute here. Alright. Here we go. Let's see if we can have any hope at starting this stream and having it not lag. Please, Streamlabs. Please work. So, in the last episode, we ended up going into the mine and, like, losing a lot of our loot. So, I think we've got to try and go back into the mine to do that. Also, guys, you're watching this more than I'm watching it, so if the stream becomes laggy, just let me know in the chat. That way I can fix Streamlabs so that we are not having a laggy stream. And thank you for subbing. Yeah, if the stream's lagging, let me know. I think it'll work a little bit better once I take the texture pack off, or once I put or if I take off the shaders. I really want to keep the shaders in, but I'm not sure how well the stream's gonna go with the shaders and so on and so on. I could go on for days about why it might be an issue, but I'm not going to bore you guys with all of the details. In the last stream, it was very laggy in the beginning, and then as the stream went on and as my computer got used to the use of resources, it fixed itself. So, I'm hoping that it will fix itself again this time. Again, hoping. I don't know if it will, but I honestly don't even know which direction I'm going in, to be honest. I'm just kind of picking a direction and sticking with it. Oh, right, that was the lava. And this is a cave with water. Was this where we died the last time? Honestly can't remember, so I'm just gonna go back out the other way until I find some kind of light. And I feel like just going down here, yeah, that was just lava. Right. I remember now. I heard something. I heard like a zombie or something like that. I just can't tell what direction it's coming from, to be honest. No, I feel like that was the mine that we went in last time. I honestly can't remember, to be honest. Oh, right, this. This is gonna take a while. Mining with just plain... Oh, come on. It doesn't even... I think we might be trapped down here now, if I'm being totally honest, because I can't punch anything to get any kind of block to get us out of here. Okay, that is a ladder. I'm just making sure that I'm not being like delusional or anything there. Alright. Let's see. Right, and we went up here. We've got the shaft there. But we've also got a shaft here. I think this might have been... the one that we were working on. I'm not sure where in our world we are, to be honest. Down this way looks the most promising, so I'm gonna go with that. To be honest, I could also just look, but what's the fun in that? Okay, that's pushing us towards the lava. We might not want to go that way, because going towards lava is quite bad. Is this where we just came from? Yeah. Yeah, it is. I don't have any torches to do anything with. At this point, the only thing up there is a jump scare like that. Oh my god. I was not expecting that, to be honest. I'm just gonna let this guy kill me because I don't have any kind of defense. Yeah. Alright. So, we're gonna sleep. See if it lets me do that. And there's our first lag of the stream. I'm gonna see if I can get Streamlabs to go back up to 60. Come on, Streamlabs. You know you want to. Why? You were literally up at 60 frames per second. And then you dropped down to 20, and now you're back up at 60. Sometimes I just don't understand Streamlabs, to be honest. Like, I understand if that right there lags it a little bit, but I don't understand why so much just lags it all the time. To be fair, this is really ultra realistic, so it's probably not helping anything, if I'm being honest. Alright, so what do we do from here? Well, first of all, we need to harvest a couple of things. We need to get more carrots. And more beetroots. Because we've got these things to harvest, which will be good. That'll get us some food. Which we quite obviously need. So, I don't know that much about Minecraft. Like, can you sell beetroot seeds for something? Because it seems like they're fairly useless, to be honest. Because, like, I know you need them to plant things. But, like, still. It's beetroot seeds. Carrots. Oh, that makes sense. Thank you for that. That makes sense. How I did not know that, I don't know. But I clearly didn't, but I do now. So, and that's a good thing. Alright. I'm going to try something which may end up breaking the stream, but I'm going to take the Minecraft's max FPS up so that it looks a little bit smoother from our end. Yeah, that's not going to help the stream at all. Beetroot, we don't need. Can carry around carrots. Don't ask me why I rhymed that. I definitely was not intending to. And now we just go back in the mine. This is not the right mine shaft whatsoever. I don't think, at least. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look right. Yeah, this comes out the other end. That's how I got myself lost a couple episodes ago, so I am so not gonna go back there. Alright. Sorry, I had to deal with a message. It's my bad. I shouldn't go silent when I do that, but I just kind of have this habit of going silent when I do this. Alright. Is this what we... Yeah. This is what we want. Come on. Give me coal. Give me a little bit of XP. Please. Nope, nothing. Alright. So, we just need to figure out a way to get back into the mine to get our stuff back. That's our big problem currently. Is we don't have any of our stuff. Which, to be honest, is a fairly big problem. I mean, let's be real here. If we don't have any of our stuff, then we're not going to be able to mine anything of value. We don't have a sword, so we're not going to be able to kill mobs or anything like that. So, we definitely need to get our stuff back. But this quite clearly seems to be the way not to do it. Ah, well, that would be a bit of a problem because you see it's been 3 weeks. So what I'm hearing from that is that we pretty much just need to, like, start over. See, again, that noise, I heard it again. It's an in-game noise. I don't know why I keep hearing it. Alright. This is the first part where we can't get up. There we go. No, I can't get up here either. And now that's 3. So, oh my gosh, that's what dirt looks like in this texture pack. Okay. Good to know. Oh, come on. I just wanna get back, but I can't. Because I know that this is dirt now, which I didn't know before. So this is not dirt, but that is. I'm so confused on what is and what isn't dirt at this point, to be totally honest. Like, if I break anything more than dirt, I can't pick it up. This is quite bad. Yeah, I'm gonna try finding gravel. See if I can That's stone. I really needed to, like, look at what this texture, at what the things in this texture pack were. Oh boy. So, I'm gonna go back down and see if I can find gravel in that cave. Worst case, I'll just let the skeleton kill me so that we can get back up to the top. But at that point, we've lost all of our carrots. So, but in the end, they're only carrots. I think that's bedrock. Gravel's gonna mine a lot easier than that. So I'll know if it's gravel. Although it might not. We'll see. Nope. Alright. This looks like gravel or some kind of other stone. Nope. Alright. Gravel. Just gonna grab a couple more of that while I'm there. And now we can safely head back up to the surface. And yeah, no words need to be said for that. Alright. Going up to the top until we can't anymore. And then we've got gravel to be able to combat our inability to jump 2 blocks. Please tell me that gets us to the top. Yes, yes it does. And it is nighttime, which means we're gonna get attacked. Which means that no matter how much that just lagged the stream, we just gotta sit in here and eat some carrots, heal back up, and then, normal difficulty. Hello, Evie. I have seen your comments on the videos. I haven't just been ignoring them. But it's been a long, long week. So, yeah, we're playing on normal difficulty, meaning that there's mobs, not as much as hard difficulty or, like, hardcore. Hardcore isn't even a difficulty option from inside a survival game that's not in hardcore mode. Oh, hey, it's actually gonna let me sleep. That's cool. It normally doesn't do that. Glad you think I'm fun to watch. I try and be fun to watch. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but I'm never going to be able to get it to work if I don't try. So, alright, that's a message. Just stay inside the house for another couple minutes. Hey, my light is staying on. That's good. Sometimes I mispress the button and turn it off instead of on. I've got one of those Casper glow lights. So it's a light and it gradually dims over like 10 to... Not 10 to 15. 15 to 30, you can set it. I've got my two set to dim in like 15. It's great when I'm going to bed. But I've also got one on my dresser, which is at like the back of my room, so it naturally lights. Yeah, it naturally lights my room. Yes, the power went out. The power went out last time because somebody crashed a car into an electrical pole. Let's hope that doesn't happen this time, because I have not hooked up my backup power generator yet. I haven't had a chance to unplug my computer to do that. So the next time I unplug my computer, I'll probably end up doing that, but because in the end, once I hook up the backup power generator, it needs like 4 hours to charge or something. But what that'll do is that'll let me, whenever power goes out, it'll keep my computer and monitor and everything on. So that way, everything's on and all I need to do is wait for Wi-Fi signal to come back, which is much, much easier to do than try and do what I did last time, which was an absolute mess. So I don't think we're supposed to have any rainstorm tonight. I can tell you in just a second. Yep. Not supposed to have any rainstorm. So yes, I did. I did post my setup on the... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I did post my setup on the TKR server once. Yeah, I did. I've gotten another monitor since then. So, I'm now at 4 monitors. Technically, I could have one preview a stream and just shut my speaker system off, because I don't want to hear myself back. Not hear myself back. That's really bad phrasing. I don't want to hear my own voice coming through my speaker system, because A, when I'm hearing my voice, it makes it harder for me to continue to talk at the same speed because I'm trying to process my voice and talk at the same time, so it slows my voice down. And B, my microphone would pick it up and it would just be an infinite echo loop. I've had it happen before. It's not fun. Alright. We need wood of some kind. What materials do we have in here? Because I literally don't know at this point. I am glad it's entertaining, because with my computer being as slow as it is, most weeks the stream almost doesn't happen. I've got another motherboard CPU combo that I need to test out to see if it's any newer and more powerful than this one, but I normally restart my computer before I stream, because I don't actually have Wi-Fi on my motherboard, and it's a hassle to try and get an Ethernet cord through here. We've got one port, we've got one cable that goes into my TV room, so without showing pictures of my room, which I'm not going to do, it's hard to describe, but basically, I've got my bedroom and desk in one part of the room, and then back by the closet, there's a little room that has a 4K 42-inch Roku TV and a futon. That's where I spend most of my nights during the summertime. This futon's being used for storage at the moment. But, we drilled a hole in the wall there, and the cable is around 3 inches too short. Well, it was before I moved my desk, but my desk is another 7 or 8 more to the right now, so it has a chance at working. It definitely has a chance at working now. But bottom line is that, you know, I don't have Wi-Fi built in, and I've got a Wi-Fi adapter, and normally that crashes. Um, I try my best to stream every Friday. Sometimes I've got school stuff and or family stuff and or conflicting things that make it so that I can't stream. Because I'll probably get next week, but the week after, possibly the 2 weeks after that, I won't be able to stream because I'll have a robotics competition the next day. Like, things like that get in the way of streaming, but, you know, in the summertime, back in March, April, May, and pretty much the entire summer, I made it a priority to stream on Friday nights all the time. And that was one of my biggest mistakes, to be honest, because it got to the point where I started to choose streaming over hanging out with friends, and I had to stop myself from doing that. No, that's not at all what I meant to do. Can I get into the hopper to take these two out? Yes, I can. But yeah, it got to the point where I was, yeah, we had another viewer for a minute. They'll pop back on, though. Well, maybe not that exact viewer, but we'll probably get a fourth viewer at some point. But when I was, like, addicted to streaming, as I call it, that was back when I only had, like, 60... No, it wasn't even that. I didn't even have 50 subs, and I was only getting, like, 2 viewers per stream. Now I'm getting 3 or 4 viewers per stream, possibly even 5, depending on the week and what I'm streaming and stuff like that. But ever since then, because what stopped it was I had 3 weeks of things come up. I had a get-together with some of my friends from camp, because we hadn't seen each other in a month, and we were all really close and stuff like that. Then the week after that, I was traveling. And the week after that, I ended up spending the night at my friend's house because we were getting together with some friends that we hadn't seen in around 3 months. So it was... it was quite a lot, and I was gonna try and stream like Saturday night or something, but then plans changed, and I ended up just taking a 3-week break, and that was when I put in my system that basically had a checklist of things that I needed to get done. And I could only stream after I got done those things. And I'm treating gaming like, not gaming like streaming, streaming like gaming and playing video games. My best advice to grow the... I totally lost my train of thought there. Wow. My best advice to grow your channel would probably be take advantage of things like Reddit and TikTok. Those help. Also, streaming was the thing that helped me. You know, streaming was the thing that helped me, but in the end, it just takes time. I've been at this for 3 years and 11 months, so nearly 4 years. And I'm only at 106, and 106 is a lot. 106 is a lot considering a year ago I was only at 20-something. But I also conveniently timed when I started to stream when everything shut down. Like, I started streaming in March, and I was getting like 3 to 5 subs a week back then. You know, I've slowed down. School started back up, which means I need to focus on that. I've got robotic stuff. So that's. I know what you mean by goals, but do you mean like lifetime goals or by the end of like 2021? That is a very broad question that I could probably give an answer to the way it is. I just want to make sure I give the right answer. But I will launch into a story. It might not be a lifetime. Got it. It might not be a story per se, but and my computer's frozen. Hello, super fun Alex. When I first started the channel 4 years ago, all I wanted was to get to the amount of subs or viewers or whatever I needed to be able to make money. I thought I was going to have like a full-time job for YouTube by the time I was in high school. And I'm in high school now, and I don't get paid for this. Partially because YouTube changed their policies, so that I have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time before I can make money, but I very quickly realized that that wasn't the way that YouTube worked. You can't just upload a video and instantly expect to be famous. Like, that's not how this works. Lifetime goals. The little, 5th grade me that grew up watching YouTubers would love to just be able to do this as a hobby until it becomes big enough to become like a full-time paying job. That's what like 5th grade me would want. But in the end, I'm not sure channel-wise. I'm really not sure channel-wise what lifetime goal would be. Because in the end, I want to make sure that this doesn't become like a chore. Because I've talked in previous videos about how much fun I have doing this channel. Like, my Apple Activity Challenge for the month is to get like 2,000 exercise minutes, which means I need to average like 60 a day. And my average workout is 35 minutes. So I needed like 20 plus minutes of exercise outside of my normal workout. And I manage that. Which I'm incredibly glad that I was able to manage. But part of the way I managed that was doing laps around my living room very quickly, to the point that I was literally sweating. And, but I was talking to myself as I was walking around doing this, trying to practice, what my points were gonna be for the next video. And like, as much as I don't like pre-recording things, I pre-record Tuesday's videos because it's a lot of fun to record, and when I have to record on weekdays like a Tuesday, it becomes almost instantly not as fun. You'll get there. The subs don't come quick, but they come. I've learned that. They don't come as fast as you would like them to, but they definitely come. And once you make a breakthrough in subs, once you get a couple, you can keep that momentum going. Um, yeah, you'll get there. But that's how I know that this channel is really fun, is because I take time like that, like 20 something minutes a day, to do this. Um, and like, even when I'm not recording, I take time to do it. That's how I know that I genuinely enjoy this channel. And I guess my lifetime goals would be to keep growing the channel. I've learned so much in the 4 years that I've been doing this that, to be totally honest with you, I'm excited to keep learning about YouTube stuff. And excited to keep learning about how to edit videos in After Effects. And, you know, like I've mentioned at least once in this stream, this computer, while the graphics card does wonders for it, the CPU from like 2012 or 2014 or somewhere in that time frame, it's getting old. It limits me in some ways. I'm not even talking about streaming. Gotcha, Evie. But like, this computer limits my frame rate in Battlefront. Like, I can do everything at max settings, but I only get like 30 frames a second. And that's in a like 3-year-old game. So in the end, I know that within the next couple years, there are going to be PC games that come out that I'm going to need more horsepower for than this thing. So part of me selfishly would like to get to 1,000 subs quick so that I can start making money to put into a new PC. But that's where I have to catch myself and stop myself from thinking that way. Because that's where it becomes more like a chore of, oh, I've got to get to here to be able to make it worth it. Whereas when I just go with the goal of trying to make people happy and enjoy myself while doing it, it's all really fun. So, I don't really have a number lifetime goal-wise, but I definitely do enjoy. I'm glad you said that, because I'm glad the fact that I enjoy doing what I do is as clear as it sounds like it is. Because I've always said that if you don't enjoy something, it's gonna show. And if it shows, especially in something like YouTube, then, you know, if it shows that you're not having fun when you're doing something like YouTube, it's gonna hurt you in the future. People aren't gonna be as content to watch your content because there won't be as much expression in your voice as there would be. There's not as much effort going into the content. And that's pretty much how I know that, you know, when somebody says something like, I enjoy the real life stories, I can tell you like doing what you do, that's a good thing because it's showing through. And I think that's part of the reason I'm at 107 subs, is because it shows that I like doing what I do. There are some days, like Thursdays, oh my gosh, Thursday was yesterday, that shows you how long of a week it's been. There are videos like yesterday's video where I might not have been myself, you know. This week has been anything but good. There's been so many things that I wish I could go back and undo, so many decisions that I wish I could go back, so much more time that I wish I could have spent doing something different than I was spending it. Um, so like yesterday, I wasn't quite myself. Wednesday, I wasn't myself at all. Um, and I can tell you that it's been a very, very hard week. I'm excited for next week to not be as hard of a week as this week was. Okay. Run from Skelebone. It's gonna follow me. I swear if it follows me. And the real life stories are a bit of a hard thing as well because, like, I have to try not to give out personal information when telling them because I won't use Facecam or anything like that because when my dad and I agreed to let me run a YouTube channel, he didn't want my face and, the less about me personally, like in terms of name, where I'm from, face, stuff like that, the less people can tell about me to track me down or something like that. Because people in real life are great, but you never know the intentions of people on the internet. And I'm not saying that, I don't trust you guys. I absolutely do. But I'm a public channel, I don't choose who views my videos. Which means there could be someone who views a video that I have a face cam on that I don't want to view that video and I don't have control over it, and it could go into, it could do something that I don't want them to do, and it gets messy. So I've always got to be careful, and that was one of the things that I ended up finding out when I started going up in sub count. Was that back when I was, at 20-something subs, my grandparents and parents were like 6 or 7 of those subs. So I could really just talk to the camera like I was talking to my family, and it was fine. But when I started to get more and more subs and more people that weren't my family that were watching the videos, I had to be extra careful because I was so used to telling more personal stories that it was potentially bad. So that's one of the things I've had to work on, but I have got plenty of real life stories. But yeah. Like, the reason I pre-record Tuesdays videos is because we're in-person school. My school's doing a form of hybrid school where, because the school that I go to is, pre-kindergarten through 12th grade in all on one campus. We're all 3 levels. It's a lot of kids to bring on campus. Sorry if I'm silent. My Streamlabs just went way down. And now way back up. I don't know what Streamlabs does sometimes, to be honest. But, like, us, the high school, are in school Monday and Tuesday. Middle is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and elementary school is just all the time because elementary school is the hardest to do virtually. High school, it's not ideal to do virtually, but we can do it virtually. Um, I only had one class today because our teachers were getting the first dose of the COVID vaccine. So that is a good thing. It means that pretty soon, I still don't think they're going to pull everyone back 5 days a week. Because I think by the time, because the two-dose vaccines get full immunity. So it's end of January for first dose, end of February for second dose, and another 2 weeks to pull in full immunity. At that point, you're on spring break, and when you come back from spring break, you're going to have to quarantine for a couple weeks anyway, because everyone's going to travel. I mean, I'm planning to travel. But it just doesn't make sense to pull us all back. So I should be able to continue live streaming Friday nights for the most part through the end of the school year, which is like May something. And then either mid-June or late July, I think. Either one of those two time slots, I'm going to end up working as a camp counselor for the summer, so that's going to be 4 pre-recorded videos a week, and possibly a live stream on Friday nights. Possibly. I remember I did it for 4 weeks over the summer, and there's 1 week of camp that's backpacking up the mountains. It's a 6-mile hike up the mountain. It takes around 3 hours. Takes around a 3-hour hike up the mountain to the campsite. Once you're at the campsite, you have to set up camp. Then you have to hike a mile each way for a viable source of water. Then you have to wait 10 minutes for the iodine tablet to kick in to sterilize it to make sure that you're not going to get sick or anything from that water. And then after that, you end up doing campfire, cooking. My boss last summer ended up burning most of the food, so that Friday night, the standard pizza, just pepperoni pizza and a chocolate milkshake was best thing I had had in what felt like years, because A, didn't taste like iodine, and B, wasn't burnt. But it is a ton of fun. But normally, I'm wiped after that. I had to have 2 Monster energy drinks and 2 bottles of Mountain Dew. For the record, that's 400 milligrams of caffeine. The can of Coke that I drink while I stream is around 30. Just so that you have an idea of the sheer amount of caffeine I put in my system to get myself back to a normal energy level. So, it's not at all guaranteed that I will be able to stream that Friday night, because I was out cold on the couch at 7 that night. During the summer, I normally go to bed at 2 a.m. But, hey, I was tired. That's how I know I had fun. But due to the fact that it's like a 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. thing, I've got frisbee practice 3 times a week in the summer. I generally can't I generally can't record my videos on time, so Sundays I normally end up just recording 4 videos. I edit and render them throughout the week, but I just bulk record on Sundays during a lot of the summer. And there's going to be like a Friday or two in March that I won't be able to live stream because I'll be traveling. Um, yeah. But hey, I should get a lot of TikTok content out of traveling, which um which should be fun. There's also going to be like a Friday in April that I won't be able to live stream because I'll be traveling as well. Um it was supposed to be the trip that um I honestly don't know what my favorite one would be. I've got a lot of favorites. I always found the tie-dye videos. To be honest, I know they're not that fun to watch. But I always thought that it was fun to do them. It's been like my the thing I do every summer with my mom. Sorry, my throat got clogged there. Um and I always try and like time lapse it, and since I don't edit a lot of my videos and tie-dye is normally always a summer thing. Since tie-dye is normally always a summer thing, that's the one that I try and literally just edit the heck out of things. Um, do I have a YouTuber that inspires me? Um, honestly, I don't know. I had never thought about it. I know I'm answering I don't know to a lot of these, and that's just the thing that I do that I've been working on because I do it IRL as well. Um, but growing up, I say growing up as if I'm, older than 20, which I'm not. But growing up in like elementary school, I always used to watch like Stampy and DanTDM and Popular MMOs and all the YouTubers that everyone watched. Um, and it's been such a long time since I watched those guys. But like that generation of YouTubers, like back in 4th grade, I created a YouTube channel that only lasted around, oh, what was it? 2 weeks. It only lasted around 2 weeks. But like I made a bunch of YouTube channels because I wanted to start something, and I never kept up with it because that was before my dad and I had the conversation about if I could start a YouTube channel. I sort of went behind my parents' back to do that, which is why they never held up. But like that generation of YouTubers was kind of the reason that I ended up wanting to do YouTube, because it was kind of what made me realize that, YouTube could be a career option. You can make money off of it. No, no Windows. I don't want to turn on sticky keys, thank you. But I'm not necessarily sure if that's quite inspiration, but that would be the closest answer that I could get you to that, to the answer to that question. Like, right now, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are, very not PG-13, and I try and keep the channel PG-13 because I don't want to have to restrict access up to 18 and over, because I know a lot of my fans are not 18 and over. That was, wow. And I know that, which is why I try and not use any kind of profanity or anything of the sort in my videos because I just don't want to deal with that. And it puts up more opportunities for channel guideline violations that could end up in my channel getting terminated and stuff like that that would just absolutely ruin my day, to be honest. So that's part of the reason I try not to use profanity at all. The one thing that worried me was that, like, the Among Us live stream series is what has become of my games with friends series. None of my friends want to do Among Us anymore, and my computer can't stream Battlefront 2 at any kind of good quality, or bitrate for that matter. So, I tend to just stream Among Us because it's much more viewer friendly. You know, Among Us is free on mobile and, you know, $5 on Steam. Whereas Battlefront is like $40, and in order to be able to play in the same party as me, you'd have to have it on PC because it's not crossplay and blah 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 blah. Yes. Yes, I do play Among Us with subscribers. At least I try to. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes the game lobbies are full. But I normally do that for my games with friends thing. It's really turned into games with viewers at this point. But my mom and I were talking a couple weeks ago about, since I'm getting close to the age where I can get a job and start getting income, we talked about getting me a new PC at the end of the school year. And it probably won't be my money. I'm not sick, by the way. I'm talking enough that my throat is doing this. That is the reason that I always have some kind of drink whenever I'm recording. But anyway, we talked about having it be a thing where as I start to make money of my own, I pay her back or something like that. Because in the end, like, this thing wouldn't be able to run a game like Cyberpunk, which ended up just flopping when it released. I am glad you like the Subnautica videos, because that has got to be the slowest series I've got on the channel right now. The problem with Subnautica is I don't know how to progress in the game. I don't know how to beat it, because every time I go to look up how to do it, we make, like, good progress, and I think I'm on a roll on something, and then we're not, and, oh, it's just an absolute mess. But I am glad you enjoy them, because there are 66 of them now. Subnautica is the other game that was made popular by Epic Games. I got it on a free holiday deal, like, 2 or 3 years ago. But basically, the plot of it is that, you crash land. Your ship crash lands, has a problem, it crash lands in the ocean on this strange alien planet, and you have to figure out how to get off of the planet. That's the plot of it. Yeah. Survival game would be a good word for it. Because you've got to figure out how to survive, you've got to figure out how to get food, which I just gave up on. Once I get low on food, I just go back to a convenient spot where all my stuff isn't going to drop far away from the sea base, and then just let hunger kill me. That's not the point of the game at all, but to be honest, I'm too lazy to put in time off camera going out and trying to catch food. Um, but it's honestly a fun game. I thought about doing like one for just me personally because I've got the Epic Games launcher on my MacBook. Yes, I know that doesn't make sense, but I've got an M1 MacBook and it can do Slime Rancher at a better setting than my gaming PC can. Um, if only the screen recording softwares that I've got on my Mac weren't so horrible, I would debate switching over to doing that. Um, but from the initial reviews that came out for my Mac, it can do Fortnite at like 60 frames a second. Okay, there's water somewhere. No! Ugh. I knew the lava was there. Why did I just... why? No. Um... I... But... yeah, exactly. Like, this MacBook is a beast. Um... One of the things that... going back to sort of, like, the YouTube goals thing... is one of the things that I've really wanted to get ever since YouTube was a capture card. Now you might ask, oh no, not this again. No. Streamlabs. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Is everything on the stream good? Is everything working fine? Because Streamlabs just started dropping frames. YouTube is giving me an error, but YouTube widgets are absolutely awful. So, okay. Now that everything is back good with the stream, I'm just gonna let my... It shouldn't be frozen now. I'm just letting my cursor sit in the same spot so that whatever was going on with my computer and the network adapter can fix itself without me putting more stress on it while I talk. I can continue to move the mouse around if that helps. But because there have been so many games that I've got on the Nintendo Switch that are really good live stream games. No. Actually, the blurriness is probably on my end, because Streamlabs started dropping frames, which basically, for the record, dropping frames is when, it doesn't process those frames. So it's going at 60 frames a second. It was dropping easily 30 or 40 frames a second, meaning that YouTube is going to try and adjust to make the gameplay look smooth, and it's going to blur it. It could also be on your end. But there have been so many games that I have on the Switch that would be great live streaming games. Super Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokemon Sword. Like, all of these would be absolutely fantastic live stream games. Because they're fun, they're engaging, and quite honestly, you can get a lot of viewer input from them. Animal Crossing, I could turn to the viewers for decisions or something, and stuff like that. You know, viewers give me tips, stuff like that, but I don't have a capture card to be able to do that, and I've got 108 subs. I feel really bad literally pointing my phone camera at a monitor and streaming like that, because it's not going to be good audio, it's not going to be good video footage, it's not going to be good anything, to be honest. So, I've been trying to avoid doing that. Um, but where I was going with the capture card is that um, with the PS5 coming out, my dad and I got the Oculus Quest 2 instead of like the PS5 pre-order. Because to be honest, we use our Oculus Quest a lot more than we use the PS4. My dad's taken it back up over quarantine. Partially because I've taken all of the good gaming PC equipment that we've got. But yeah. So there's talk about once the PS5s come into stock again, and there's actually a lot of games meant specifically for the PS5 on there. My dad's probably gonna get a PS5. And the next question is, what happens with our old PS4? Oh, come on, Streamlabs. Don't do this to me. But there's real question about what's gonna happen to our PS4. And to be honest, I would vote for me taking it, because then, I can do YouTube stuff on it, I could stream it. I don't have a good way to stream it. But I know PlayStation has its own recording software, just like Microsoft has Xbox Game Bar, which is what I use for game recording. And no, my screen is not frozen. Streamlabs keeps going anywhere between 10 frames per second and 60 frames a second. So I'm just giving it a second to catch up to itself. Is streaming on PS4 that easy? Like, with PlayStation's recording software, can you literally just hook it up to your YouTube and just click live stream? Because if it's that easy, I might have to check that out when the time comes. Okay. Whew. That was laggy, but yeah, but selfishly, I'll vote for me to take the PS4 because we've got some good games on there. We've got a couple of Tomb Raider games. We've got Hollow Knight. There's a lot of good games on there. Uncharted 4. And to be honest, it would probably be really fun. Hello, Ethan. I do play Among Us. But Capture Card would also let me do mobile games as well, much easier than I can do them now. Because right now, I have to use a program called Air Server to get any kind of mobile screen capture onto my screen. Mostly talking about capture cards at the moment. I forget what prompted it, but because mobile, I've always wanted to do like mobile games. Like, I've always thought Clash of Clans would be fun to do a series on and stream and stuff like that. There are a couple of Another live stream game that I know this PC will be able to handle is there was a Sherlock Holmes game that came out a while ago called Crimes and Punishments. And each case takes between 3 and 4 hours, so probably between 1 and 2 streams. And I wanted to do it as a live streaming series, but it was just going to be me solving the case again, so I thought, because my dad and I played through it. We took around 6 weeks, it's only 6 cases, and each Saturday night we would do a case. This was back when I was using my Dell XPS for gaming, and my goodness, was that a different time. But, you know, I've always thought that would be a good live streaming series because it'll keep the audience engaged. I can have audience participation as well. It's like a recipe for success, but I'll have to keep that in mind when and if I get a PS4. Between Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, I definitely prefer Clash of Clans. Clash Royale isn't a bad game. I just generally tend to get really frustrated with people when I go on a losing streak and just end up taking a break from the game and then forgetting to play it again. I also end up just deleting it over and over again to save space. But also, just stream-wise, I've got about 9 minutes, I think, till my dinner gets here. I'm just gonna keep the camera like this because ever since my computer started dropping frames, Streamlabs has been really unhappy with me. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to move in the world, but it's another 9 minutes. Can deal with it. I did go in the mine a fair amount. I definitely did go in the mine a fair amount. In the last episode of Minecraft that I did, I lost all my stuff, so it was really trying to get back into the right mine to get there. I also died a couple of times. The Minecraft Survival series is by far the hardest live streaming series to come up with a good title for. Because I don't know what I'm going to end up doing in the video, so I've got to make a title, and sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. So but yeah, I've looked to try and find ways to it's fine. Don't worry about taking a while. I'm just glad that you're watching the stream. I've looked for ways to try and capture my Switch without a capture card. And each way that I've seen, I did. You're in the TKOR server with me, so thank you for subbing. Sorry, sometimes the sub counter above is slow. The TikTok counter is slow as well. Mine on my Mac screen shows 109. That doesn't yet, but if I try and go over to Streamlabs to refresh it, it's gonna. But the reason it's a custom sub goal like that is because I used to use Streamlabs sub goal, and it literally wouldn't update at all. Like, I would have to go in and manually add subs to it. I would have to stop the countdown, update my sub amount, start the countdown again, and I'd have to do that before each stream. So I just switched to this, which is a website that automatically does it. And to be honest with you, it's way nicer than Streamlabs widget. There it goes. Like, I love Streamlabs. I've been told OBS Studio is better. I just haven't gotten the time to switch yet. Streamlabs Mobile has a streaming feature in it. I know it does. I used it the other day, but Streamlabs and Streamlabs Deck used to be the identical same thing. But then they changed it so that now Streamlabs and Streamlabs Deck are two different apps. Streamlabs Deck is the simpler way to get a Stream Deck without paying $150 for one. But it only works with Streamlabs. That's the downside to it. The Streamlabs app is what lets you to live stream from mobile. Setup is easy. It was very, very easy to set up. So, there's that. Clash of Clans wise, I'm a Town Hall 8. I'm switching back to Clash of Clans because I just thought about it. Clash of Clans wise, I'm a Town Hall 8 and a Builder Hall 6, soon to be Builder Hall 7. Let's see. Oh, nope. As soon as I move my mouse, Streamlabs just goes down to 30 frames a second again. I really need a better PC if I want to stream things more intense than this. But, you know, streaming isn't the reason I got a good graphics card. Gaming is the reason that I got a good graphics card. Streaming is just an added plus. Because in the end, streaming PCs and gaming PCs are very different. I stream for like an hour on Fridays and sometimes a little more throughout the week on Twitch or something like that. Hopefully soon within TikTok, but that's going to be a while. I'm assuming comp means a computer. But so I remember people before said they liked the real life stories that I was doing. So I started out, the first laptop I ever had was a Toshiba laptop with 128 gigabytes of storage and 4 gigs of RAM. That thing is as slow as it sounds. It still is. It's still at my grandparents' house because my grandfather was the one that gave it to me, and when I got my Asus, we respectfully gave it back. But the next computer I had was an Asus ZenBook that had, I think it was 256 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. Still no dedicated graphics, just integrated graphics. That was the thing that I used to start my YouTube channel. I went to use Streamlabs for recording, and Um, got it. I'll see if I can explain things a little bit better. Um, so, like, my gaming computer currently has 16 gigs of RAM. And the RAM is fine, it's just got a really old CPU, so it doesn't have the performance that it used to. Um, gotcha. But I remember 4 years ago sitting in my room at my grandparents', my dad's parents, um, and I was recording Blockheads, which was one of the first game series that I ever did. I did not have a good way to record. So I ended up using Camtasia's screen recorder because my grandfather had a license to that, and a program called Nox. Hello. I ended up using a program called Nox, which is an Android emulator, to download Android games. Not Android games, but download games on an Android so that I could play games like Blockhead and SimCity. Um, if you want to give me a shout out, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you that you have to, but if you want to give me one, then go ahead. Ooh, and we are at 110 subs, so thank you for subbing. Again, the sub goal's slow today. It's normally not that slow, but for some odd reason today it is. But then after I got so I had my ASUS for the better part of a year and a half. Yeah, sometimes subs sometimes come fast like today, or sometimes they come slow. I am glad you are entertained. I am very glad that this is entertaining. Um, but my Asus pretty much self-destructed. It pretty much self-destructed. I had an issue with one of the USB ports. Um, so when the USB ports became defective and the touchpad stopped working, it wasn't touchscreen, so I didn't have that. So wherever I took that laptop, I had to carry a mouse. It got very close to exploding once because I took it to school and it didn't shut down. And it just sat there overheating in my backpack. If I didn't take it out during English class in 6th grade, it probably would have either exploded or done something very bad. Um, but for Christmas, I think it was in 7th grade, so 2 years ago, I got my HP computer. My HP computer had 12 gigs of RAM, giving me an additional 4. So it had 12 gigs of RAM. What else did it have? It was a 15-inch instead of a 13-inch, like my Asus. So it was bigger. It had a little bit better of a CPU. and it had 256 gig storage. Um, I remember the days of 6th grade. That seems like so long ago, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like, it seems like it was yesterday, but it also seems like it was years ago as well. Um, but my HP had. My HP was a really nice computer. It took me a while to figure out how to stream. With my Asus, I could only stream at 12 frames, not even 10 frames a second. With my Asus, I could only stream at 10 frames a second. When I got my HP, I was able to stream at 20 frames a second. My HP is what I started streaming on in March when I started all this. And then in March is when things got a little bit complicated. Sorry, I just got an email from school that I needed to read real quick. But my HP is what I started streaming on back in March. And back in March, basically, the microphone on my HP was not doing too well. There was some kind of interference on it. It didn't like being around other electronics. And, yeah, basically there was this awful ringing sound. So, yeah. The microphone on my old HP laptop didn't work that well. There was this weird kind of ringing in the background, and it distorted my voice to the point that it was almost inaudible. I recorded a couple of YouTube videos with it, and yeah, that was when it became apparent to me that that happened. So my HP was a 15-inch. My dad, when he started working from home, brought home his iMac from work because it had the resources. It had, 64 gigs of RAM and stuff. It had everything he needed to be able to work from home during the day, whereas his MacBook didn't have it. He had a computer that he used at work to travel around to meetings and stuff, and it was a Dell XPS 13. I started borrowing it for band work because the microphone wasn't broken, and then I started borrowing it to take class outside in May because it was gorgeous out. It was like 70 degrees Fahrenheit and sunny. It was awesome. But in July, I pretty much migrated over to that. And now that's his computer. Like, we both knew that I couldn't use that for the next couple of years. That was more just a time being thing of I had a good laptop. It was like 4K screen as well. Gotcha. Thank you for tuning in. But it was a 4K screen. It was quite awesome to use. Unfortunately, it didn't have the power to do 4K gaming because now it had 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gig RAM. A couple of other things like that. Yeah, I should be streaming next week. Like I said, the 2 weeks after that are a little bit iffy because we don't know how our robotics competitions are going to work. Normally, I have to get up around 5 in the morning for it. Um, but with all of the COVID stuff, we don't know what it's going to be like. So, see you next week. Um, but my yeah, and then in in October, I got to use a MacBook Air, and I loved it. I loved the Mac. I loved the way that the keyboard felt. Um, I loved everything about it. And I decided that I wanted a MacBook. So, I ended up here the 20 with the 2020 M1 MacBook Air. Now, the reason that I went with a Mac was that over the summer, I got an AMD Radeon 5600 XT for the gaming PC that I've got at my dad's. And then here, my grandfather used to work for NVIDIA, and he had a spare 1080 GTX 1080 sitting around. So I took that thing, and we are here now with this. So I knew I had two absolutely insanely awesome gaming machines, so I don't have a need to do laptop gaming. You know, sure, I might do the occasional gaming bit on my laptop. I might do Minecraft or Among Us or something of the sort when, I'm at school or I'm at a friend's house or something. But, I wasn't going to be doing streaming and gaming from a Mac, which you really can't do. But I love my Mac. It is absolutely awesome. It's an absolutely awesome machine. It's an absolute powerhouse of a machine. Like, it can do Fortnite at the same quality that a PS4 can. Just to give you guys that stat there. But yeah, it was an absolutely insane machine, and I love it. I really do. I love it. It's a fantastic machine. I use it for school all the time. I've done Android Studio on it, which Apple doesn't like me for, but, I kind of need it for robotics. But it's an absolute powerhouse of a machine, and every once in a while, I remind myself that, yeah, I've got a 4-monitor setup now. 4 monitors. It's insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. I've only got 3 hooked up to my computer, and I've got a Roku hooked up to the 4th monitor, which has integrated speakers, so that I can watch TV or put music or something on, and at least have a use for the 4th monitor. But sometimes I just have to remind myself that, and remind other people too, because, personally, because sometimes it boosts my self-esteem a little bit. Personally, I like to think that it's inspiring to other people to hear that somebody with, an awesome gaming PC who can stream at, 60 frames a second, full 1080p, can do Minecraft shaders and all that, started out as a kid with a crappy laptop in a basement. And I know that as the channel continues to grow, that story will get even more inspiring. When we hit 200, 300, 400 subs, you know, that'll get even more inspiring, if you would call it that. And I know that, which is why I continue to tell the story. I don't tell it a lot. I tell the story of, what my intentions were when I created the channel versus what they are now, a lot more than that. But to be honest, I still think that it helps in a way. Because I know that if you would have told 5th grade me 4 years ago, when he started talking about wanting to run a YouTube channel, that, in 4 years he'll have over 100 subs and have an absolutely awesome gaming machine instead of a crappy 13-inch laptop, I wouldn't have believed you, but it might have inspired me to continue to work towards what I've got now. And I do definitely intend to keep doing YouTube. Right now I do 4 videos a week. Sometimes it's a little much. I never think it's a little much, but I'm also the one doing it because I enjoy it. But sometimes it is a lot of work because sometimes I have to record 3 to 4 videos at once. Like back to back to back, just pre-record everything for a week. And that's no fun to do. Trust me, I've done it. It's not fun. I pride myself on being able to tell those real life stories that you guys in today's stream said that you guys enjoy. Because I tell them as they happen, and when I have to pre-record videos, I lose the telling new stories element of it. It's the same stories over and over. If I'm thanking you guys for a sub milestone, for all I know, we could have lost 10. We could be 10 under it by the time that one video goes out. I don't know that stuff, and that's part of the reason I don't like pre-recording videos. I also don't like pre-recording videos because just sitting down to record videos back to back to back, it's not on my top 10 list of things that I want to do, if I'm being honest. But, I realize that sometimes I have to do that to be able to, keep things going, because if it's 1 week out of 52 in a year, I can deal with it. And, personally, I know that come the school year, next year, when we're not virtual, and we're in person, and it's a normal difficulty year, I'm not going to have the time to be able to do 4 videos a week. I'm not going to have the time to do Subnautica on Thursday nights every week. I'm just not, because next year will be sophomore year, and I didn't have that kind of time in 8th grade, let alone sophomore year, where it's high school, everything gets harder. So I know I'm not going to have that time. I might not have the time to stream on Friday nights. Or depending on if I get a PC that can actually stream stuff, it could be that my Friday night episode is a live stream. I honestly don't know. I used to have an after-school thing that kept me to school till 5. So I used to get home like 5:30, I'd eat dinner, and by the time I got the video out, it would be like 8:30. And I'm not going to start a stream at 8:30 p.m. I start at like 5. just so that you guys are aware. Like, anyway, guys, I unfortunately have to end the stream here because my dinner has just arrived. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for all of the subs today. It was crazy. I hope that most of you guys, if not all of you, will be back next week for Among Us. My one rule ever since like the summer has been dinner is my hard cutoff. I will take like a minute or two to outro, do a proper outro, stuff like that. But dinner is my hard cutoff because I don't want to miss dinner. Because there's a lot of stuff going on between my grandparents right now, and, yeah. Dinners are very important to me right now. So, next stream should be next Friday at the same time. Hopefully. I always try and do Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern US time, because that's the time zone that I'm on. There's probably a time zone converter that you can Google. Because I'm pretty sure you're not on US Eastern. But I've got to go to dinner. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys back in the next stream. See you in the next video. Bye.